Hi there folks, and welcome back to the Dead Cells Daily for the 10th of May, 2019. And today is another Mulligan Day. Huzzah. It's how it goes some days, I suppose. Anyhow, today is a Castle Daily, which kind of explains the Mulligan, if I'm honest. So an interesting pick of weapons to start with here, a Nutcracker and a Broadsword. Both are weapons I actually kind of like quite a bit. Yes, they are survival scaling, and that is why I like them. I like a good, heavy, slow weapon some days. Fairly, wide build today for the layout. Went with Broadsword to start. And there's our first hits of damage, as is tradition. This is an area that definitely benefits from shields, since, well, pretty much everything here can be parried. You've got these spearmen who, their names evade me. I might have to look that up here quickly. But there's also those whirligig Guardian Knights that, without fail, are going to chip away at my entire health bar. Yeah, that was already almost a death. But we've got a swarm grenade to start with. And I missed a scroll on the entrance. Yeah, I already kind of figured. Alright, well, this run's dud. This run's a dud. Went with the torch. I didn't really like either. Torch is good. I like torch. I didn't really have a good plan just yet as to what weapons to go with. Swarm Grenade's interesting. It's been buffed quite substantially in the most recent updates, where the cooldown is ridiculously tiny, meaning that you can just spam these little worm guys and completely ruin your eardrums. Flawless, I don't have enough confidence myself to try with Flawless. So that was the only time I even look at Flawless for the rest of the daily. Yeah, already I throw it out, it breaks open, and the Swarm Grenade's already ready to go. Like, what is the cooldown on Swarm Grenade? I'm gonna have to look this up. Swarm Grenade. Dead Cells. Swarm Grenade is a cooldown. Nah, it's not a cooldown of 10 seconds. It's a cooldown of like a second. They have not updated that yet in the wiki. But what's the name of that one enemy? The spear guys. They are Lancers. No, that makes sense. They lance you in the middle. And then Catchers, which I hate Catchers with a passion, because I really struggle to not get completely destroyed by them every single time. I hate those things. Catchers are by far my least favorite enemy right now. So, let's go with the Nutcracker this time. Kind of playing off of the stun was my thought process with this one. Since, you know, you belly flop on top of an enemy, and, well, they're stunned for a bit, giving you a little bit of extra crit. Yeah. And, sadly, the stun just doesn't last forever. And you have to get kind of lucky with the drop as well. Lancers are honestly not too bad. My main gripe with Lancers is that if you end up rolling past them to avoid their first two lunges, that third lunge can end up being turned around on you, and, well, you still get hit by the things. And, you know, I probably should have killed you first before I went for the Swarm Grenade. I don't know, Swarm Grenades, it's weird that they ended up updating it so that it's scales with survival. It's something that I'm gonna have to try You know, I'm actually kind of wondering if it's worth going for a swarm grenade for a speedrun setup. Because that swarm grenade with its quick cooldown might offset some of the downside of going with a survival build for speedrunning, since you can recharge your climb animation. That's something I'm going to have to test. And I might be able to get some good affixes on the thing, too. Knots. Yeah. A lot of this daily run practice has actually been helping out with me getting more comfortable with the movements in the game as well. So I've actually been trying, and failing, but I've been trying to get into speedrunning the game as well. I've gotten a pretty decent time. It's second to last on the leaderboard on speedrun.com, but I might try Swarm Grenade for a speedrun, because the way that the climbing works is that if you're climbing up a straight wall, you can use a secondary item to recharge your climbing animation, so you don't just go climb, 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 stop. You can throw another item and restarts the climbing animation. It's effective. And a little bit faster than my typical strategy, which is just roll halfway up the... Got confused there for a second about which was the Tornado and which was the Guardian Knights. Tornado is a weird one. It's good at deflecting projectiles, but it's not... I don't know. And catcher! Stuck in a tight space with a catcher. That's never fun. So, is R30 going to see the timer counting down or not? Seismic Strike combined with a Nutcracker. That was something I was kind of considering for a second, and decided to go with. Seismic Strike, I've liked using it, but the lockdown animation... The lockdown itself isn't that long. Don't get me wrong, it's a much better... I just swap it out for a Ramparts. Don't get me wrong, Nutcracker is a lot better now than it once was, but it's also... It needs some... I don't know. I don't know what it needs. I need to get either... It needs either slightly faster animation, or I need to get the timing down better. But I've got a shield now, which means... It's GG. I will make it, right? Right? Not quite. I need to still improve my parry timing. I'm better at it now than when I first started playing the game, but it still needs some work. At least my survivability is improved substantially, because I don't get just stun-locked by enemies. And it's close enough to the end that I decided, no, Cursed Chest is not worth it. I also ended up taking a detour here to go grab the Giant Killer, since that's got critical damage on bosses. And considering the timer... Yes, the timer. Considering the timer, I'm going to need anything I can get at this point. And come on, climb, climb, climb. It's at this point that I kind of realized, yeah, I'm probably going to time out. So let's just get as much points as we can, maybe? I overestimated how much time I had left and how little space there was between where I was at and the boss. 10 seconds remain! Can I beat it? No. We're going to time out. Giving the concierge a handshake for about 4 seconds here. Yep, out of time. 3:55. Not a great time, all things considered. So let's go back to Broadsword and see if that is the trick. It's got a very, very heavy bit of damage. The extra 20% damage on critical, and since, you know, the second and third attacks are crits, It's a pretty decent boost in damage per second, I'd say. And that was just embarrassing. I need to get... The thing is that a lot of the time when I end up going to the castle, I very rarely don't have a shield. So I'm just not fully comfortable with the enemy patterns just yet. Also, hello my pretties, follow me into battle. I'm still surprised at its survival scaling for as short of a cooldown it has. But it's not as effective in close combat, which is interesting. And already pretty low on health. I'm also not getting the speed boost just yet, so I'm going a little bit too slow on the kills. Grab the Giant Killer early. Giant Killer is really good against bosses. It's not a great weapon against your typical enemy fare in these areas, especially with as tanky as the enemies are in this area. And let's grab ourselves that rampart. I think I stick with Giant Killer here. Yeah, which, again, not a great decision, because the Giant Killer, although yes, it does have a pretty decent attack, it's a slow attacking weapon. I mean, you're putting all of that effort into that swing and that... It's like a 4 or 5 step process. I probably should have went with that elite up there. Since, you know, I have the Giant Killer after all, it would die quickly, but no. Turns out that, no, my score will not increase by that much today. And still getting kind of slow. And I decided to go with the Curse Chest because I'm an idiot. Flamethrower Turret's not bad, though. Flamethrower Turret is not bad. It also has a pretty low cooldown. But at this point, I need to rush to the end. Because, again, this is a very wide daily in terms of the layout. So it's... I'm playing it very safe here with the parries. And I did not play safe enough. Booger. Well, let's jump ahead a few attempts. Finally got a successful run here. I think this was the 6th attempt. Still within a half hour, which is, I think, going forward, how I'm going to do this is, if I can't get a good run within a half hour, yeah, just call it quits. Does mean I have to spend a little bit of extra time editing, because at this point, there was no commentary. It was me, okay, I gotta focus. Stuck with the broadsword, and I completely skipped the swarm grenade at this point. It just wasn't worth it. Went with Hayabusa gauntlets here, which does give you a little bit of extra critical damage if the enemy is at low health. And I just decided, nope, you get to live now. Nope, you get to die now. Okay, I forgot that I spent a lot of time trying to just hammer away at you. The hope here was that I could get a little bit of extra damage from the ground pounds here to get a little bit more damage from the Hayabusa gauntlets. Got really lucky with the breakaway floor there. And I do have that velocity on the top of my head there, which means that I am going a little bit faster, which is actually quite a bit of help. You go through a lot more stuff quicker if you can get that little bit of extra speed boost. Dead Cells is a game that definitely rewards a bit of recklessness at the same time of, along with that perfectionism that most roguelikes give you. Get that wall rune for the extra 20 points. And let's be a little memey. Hayabusa boots, Hayabusa gauntlets. Nope, there is no synergy between them, as sad as that is. So I don't even use those boots, as broken as they are in this patch. Hayabusa gauntlets and a shield. That was the order for the basically till the end of the daily. Got lucky with the parry timing there. I thought it was a little off. Nothing quite like punching the undead. Actually, I've noticed that a lot of the enemies in the castle have very similar faces, where it's this Lovecraftian... who's it does it? Sort of the... Yeah, it's a Lovecraftian... Is it a mask? Or is that their face? Oh, those Guardian Knights are so tanky. Symmetrical Lance is a little bit too slow for my tastes. It's not a bad weapon, and it's actually pretty good when you've got a lot of enemies in the area. Symmetrical Lance gives you that little bit of extra critical damage if you can pull off a 2-for-1 kill. Still going for the curse chest here because I'm... whatever, I guess. Once I get the shield, I tend to get a little bit more gutsy, a little bit more... especially with a Rampart shield with that little bit of extra survivability bubble. That, though, was just stupid. That was 100% just me being a little bit overzealous with my attack there. But we got the curse. That's 25 points plus the +5 from the bonus there as well. And all the damage starts rolling in. That Rampart shield makes me a little bit... what's the phrase I'm looking for? It makes me a little bit too risky at best. And there we go. Monitor went to sleep on me there, so my commentary is going to be off by a little bit, but we're towards the end of the video anyway, so yeah, we've got a concierge fight. Concierge fight actually went pretty okay here. Yeah, it seems like it's going a little bit slow, but as soon as we get under that 40%, that health just melts away. Score of 700 flat. Not a bad score. There are going to be some higher scores today, though. I wish you all the best for the rest of your day, and I will see you with tomorrow's daily.